Welcome.
Good evening. As everyone read, in memory of the heroes, wrong one. In memory of the treasonous enemies of democracy and freedom, who fell in defense of the principles which gave birth to the cause of the most heinous domestic terrorist white supremacist hate group in our nation's history, the KKK. Now, here's a quote from one of those fearless, treasonous enemies that were defeated. His name is Jefferson Davis. Again, he's a president of the Confederacy, or he was a president of the Confederacy. In a speech he gave back in March of 1861, he says, "We recognize the Negro as God, and God's book and God's laws in nature tell us to recognize him, our inferior, fitted expressly for servitude." Now, what's servitude? Servitude, shortly stated, is slavery, right? You're a slave if you're in servitude. The opposite of that word is liberty. Yes, the same liberty that we find in our very own Pledge of Allegiance to our flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, not the Confederate flag or the Confederacy for which it stood, because as we all know, they were defeated and considered treasonous enemies of this country. But again, it becomes more and more nauseating each week as I have to come up here to continually explain to those who are more than well aware of the meaning of having symbols and monuments expressing allegiance to the Confederacy and the hate for which it stands, one white supremacist nation under God, thoroughly divisible, only providing liberty and justice for all who agreed. The divisive feeling was loud and clear on the corner of Washington and Clinton, where I stand with my End Racism Now sign silently and peacefully as a majority of our citizens, many of which who are speaking tonight, drive by in solidarity and honk and wave. But that small minority group, which for whatever reason we seem to be catering to, who drive through, who represent the voice opposition to ending racism, have been vocal and have been moved to violence, clearly. A week ago today, about 2 hours ago, my presence on the corner standing as a reminder to all who drive by to end racism now inspired a hate-filled person to come out to the adjacent corner with 2 cartons of eggs and begin to target me. As humiliating as it was, I didn't respond verbally or physically because my message isn't to encourage the very same violence, but to unite this city. That's the reason why I spend my time every single day of the week as all of you make your way out of downtown area, down the main corridor, headed to the 565 with my sign peacefully saying nothing to no one, with a sign that says End Racism Now. I feel like we have now given those, the small majority who we're, for whatever reason, placating to keep this statue up, the power to now start attacking innocent civilians, such as myself, who was only standing there. This is something we need to work on and we need to change immediately. And you guys have the power to do so. And Jenny said herself
I don't want to ask you, your time is up.
That you can mow the lawn on other people's yard.
Thank you.
You can go and move the statue.